Don't, yeah, okay.
Hello everyone, and once again I am live. So as you guys know that I make video on lifestyle, culture and everything related to Germany, which can help expat or student or any tourist if they are planning to come to Germany. So in case you guys are new here, consider subscribing. Now today for this session I have special guest, and he is here to tell his story on how he ended up in Germany. And yes, he's a computer science student and is living in Frankfurt. So, Phillips, tell us about your. Sorry, like it's my first session and I cannot stop being excited about it. So, Phillips, let's begin up with your stories, and later we can see the questions, right?
Shall I start? Okay, hi everyone. I was working in India, in Chennai, as a software programmer, senior system engineer there. And thereupon, I ventured upon different computer science topics like advanced data analytics, which is one of those premier, most sciences, which is a field which is having a huge growth. So I was quite excited about that topic. And because of which I was checking which universities offer me a course in this particular area. So upon which I just stumbled upon high integrity system, which is offered at Frankfurt University of Applied Sciences. So I just applied it, and it was a direct application, and I got it. And yeah, and then I spent around like 3 semesters and 1 semester of thesis here.
So basically, those who are joining me right now, Anita, hi. Rajneet, good to see you again here. So basically, he's a computer science student and he's sharing his story that how he ends up in Germany. So he told us about his background, his professional experience, his education qualification in bachelors. So Phillips, I would like to ask you that what has made you competitive enough to be selected by a German university, and also let us know that why you selected your particular university, so that you can help the student to know that what should be their main priority to select the university and how they can frame their SOP or what can make them competitive.
Like I stated earlier, one of my primary objectives was to pursue data science, which I saw in 2 of the universities. One was Frankfurt University of Applied Sciences and the other was Kaiserslautern. I think Kaiserslautern had a fees when you have to apply for that university. Otherwise, it's quite good. So I didn't apply for that, and I applied for this one, and I happened to get it. So the course structure is really good, but it has a lot of contents that it's not only, it includes like data analytics, it also includes IT security, like encryption, description, VPNs and stuffs like others, and also some pattern-oriented software programming stuffs. So there are quite a few topics to discuss.
So what do you suggest? Because see, he has done all his application on his own. So what do you suggest to people? Like what they should do before applying for masters? Like they should have an experience, or like how can be competitive enough? Whether they need to learn German, what? Like just some tips for the new student.
Learning German would be, irrespective of any course, it would be very beneficial to you. And also, yeah, universities, I don't know about universities, but visa office will definitely look forward to such a qualification. And yeah, and since I did my engineering in electronics and communication, work experience in IT really helped me a lot in writing my SOP, like my actual statement of intent. So I could specify them that this is the real motivation behind applying for a computer science job, because computer science subject, because I did a computer science related job. So whenever you end up in Germany and your objective is to work in Germany, always it's a good thing to have a work experience, because no matter where, like what all things you learn, at the end when a company wants to hire you, they'll look forward to your experience. So either you can, if you don't have an experience, you can compensate it with projects which you do in the university.
See, that's the thing I always tell you guys, that if you have a certain experience, it's not mandatory, but definitely it gives an edge to you over the other applicants. And definitely knowing German is also an advantageous and a plus point. And even the same has happened with him.
I mean that goes without saying, because experience is one thing which you may not have. For that, I mean, you don't have a control over it. What you can do is like you can learn German get certificates, because because here after coming, if you get an admission, the thing is like to survive here, to get a job here, because more and more international immigrants and people are coming in. So the advantage thing is that if you know more of German, the chances of you being recruited by such a company or even part-time or internship of company is higher. So
those who are actually joining me right now, so Akash, hi, Venkat, hi, Ranjit, Sid, and Anita, everyone, welcome to my live session. So he's actually a computer science student and sharing his experience on how you can be competitive enough and can easily get into education system in Germany. So the thing is that I already tell you guys that having an experience, knowing German is always advantageous. So definitely I will answer all the questions that you guys are asking right now. But before answering those questions, I would like to sort out all the queries related to computer science and his stories and some basics things like accommodation and shortlisting the university, then learning German, so that you get everything all in one, like in one videos, so that like I will even take you through these steps. So in case if you guys are enjoying this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And now I will I'm now again back to Philips. So Philips, tell us about your course and the structure. How was your experience, whether it's a difficult, easy, and what tip you want to give to the students who will be soon coming to Germany for studies?
I mean, what I can say is about my course, which is Computer Science in High Integrity Systems. And this particular course has a mixed opinion by different students. Like, you cannot say it's a good or high, tough, or it's a quite relative thing. The thing is that for some people who just want to land up a job in as quick as possible, this might not be a good option, because it has 3 semesters and a thesis, and there are some master's degree which has only 2 semesters and a thesis. So, and also it has a, like, because whenever you select a course, obviously in that you can see the modules and how many subjects are being covered in this master's program. So since in my program it covers data analytics, IT security, software programming, DBMS, and the list goes on. So it's like, it's quite broad. So probably some students find it a bit difficult to pass or to study and at the same time do part-time work. So there are some universities which offer MS program, which has only few subjects. It's a specialization course and few subjects and thesis and just like that. So if you select that course, it would be easier. I mean, you can graduate quickly. So as stated before, it depends upon the course which you take and the intentions with which.
Yes, it's more about your priority, because he already had some experience and then he was able to more focus on his studies. And similarly, I have experienced it that because I end up taking mostly, like, it was more elective, so I took mostly in marketing, branding, and it wasn't difficult for me. So I was even able to participate in other activities as well, so that I can build my resume more stronger. So it's all totally dependent on you, whether you want to totally digress from or may try some new electives, but you really have to work hard and study well, because here in Germany, Germans study from the day one. I have seen them studying in library and they begin studying from day one. So yeah, so basically, those who are joining me right now, we have Philips. He is a computer science student living in Frankfurt. He is doing masters, and definitely we will take care of your questions later in this live session. And yeah, I think we only left with 40 minutes. So yeah, you can meanwhile answer your question, shoot out your questions. And now I would like Philips to tell us that what are the best universities for computer science, and then you can tell us your step-by-step process. Like, you can just highlight the main step, how you apply for the university and learning German then.
See, first of all, selecting a good computer science course or university. The thing is, like, in Germany, wherever you apply, wherever you get an admission for a computer science and you see the modules and that modules you're interested in, go ahead with it, because it doesn't matter where you are. The thing is, like, probably one thing which comes into picture is that if Ingolstadt University and Kaiserslautern universities are quite famous, but the thing is that if Ingolstadt University and Kaiserslautern universities are quite famous, but The thing is that it depends upon the city where you are. For example, Frankfurt is as you know, it's a banking hub, and Berlin is like an IT hub. So if you land up somewhere around Berlin, or if you land up around Frankfurt, because in Berlin you have a lot of startup companies, and the student job in IT, student job in IT, it's quite comparatively easy, because yeah, you can do it. I mean, if you get in some places like Rosenheim and all, it's quite distance and into the, because in Berlin you have a lot of startup companies, and the student job in IT, student job in IT, it's quite comparatively easy, because yeah, you can do it. You get in some places like Rosenheim and all, it's quite distance and into the land, and getting a part-time job would be a bit challenging. So I mean, location is one thing which you can bear in mind, and yeah, I mean, getting admit is the main thing.
Yeah. And so whatever he's telling, like he did it with DAD, DART, from where you can see the modules, the university, and can make the choice. It all depends on your priority, whether you want to work after your studies, whether you want to build your resume strong enough while working part-time, and based on that, your location preference also changes, and yeah, similarly, the university preference.
Yeah, so the thing is, like, of course, as general thumb rule goes, TUs are better. Like, we have top TU 9 universities are there, TU Darmstadt, TU Berlin. So even Ingolstadt, it's quite famous for automobile industry, I mean, related sector. So these are top universities, but the things to be bear in mind is that if you select a TU university, and those people who do not have a PhD intention in mind, they just want to land a job, probably it would be a better idea if they opt for a Fachhochschule, that is Applied Sciences College, because the thing is that they would probably integrate less of theory content and more of practical sort of projects and things, so that it's easier to integrate into an industry soon after that.
Okay, so while you were talking about the selection and everything, do you think that studying in Germany and then returning back to India has any advantage, or I will be compared to the other bigger college students or the regular students in India? Like, how is it? Do you know? Do you have any idea about it, or you don't suggest that way?
First of all, I would like to say I do not have an idea about that, because the thing is, like, when you do a master's here and then you go back to India, the thing is like it's return on investment is quite good, because the amount of money you would want to put in is similar, like, I don't know about MTech courses, but in MS courses you have to put in like 12 lakhs around. So in India. So when you say 2 years, how much you had invested very less. I mean, 6 to 7 lakhs. So the investment is quite low, and you will get an international exposure. And the thing is, like, see here, if you end up in having a good industry like Porsche or Daimler or companies like that, if you end up in working with them, then it's quite good. I mean, yeah. So there are even if you want to move into analytics area, you can easily get job in Norway or Netherlands, and the pay is less, but they have a lot of scope there. So the thing is, like, you will have more of international exposure. So the advantage comes into the picture that more, like, when you work more here after studies, like 4 to 5 years, then probably if you move back to India or any place else, will make sense.
Yeah, so that I would like to interrupt him, and for those who is joining me right now, so he's basically a computer science student doing masters in Frankfurt, and he's here to sort out any of your queries related to computer science or study in Germany. So I welcome Rajdeep, Akash, Ratuja. Just let me know your questions and we will come to it. But later, after he tells us about his story, the procedure of visa, getting into the university, like step-by-step process. So after that, we will definitely make sure that we will entertain all your questions. And meanwhile, if you find this video helpful, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And now back to Phillips. So now, sorry. So basically, now tell the step-by-step process
of application.
Yes.
Application process is like you just like if you are a bachelor student, or if you did only bachelors in computer science, then it is easier. I mean, you don't have to look for an experience in computer science. Otherwise, probably I would recommend you need to have an experience in computer science. Otherwise, the thing is, like, when you go into that tutorial, you can see the requirements for every college. So, and
okay.
then
to make it simple, let's first talk about the masters, because you are already studying, and it could help our viewers if in case they want to apply for master's degree. So just to let us know that, okay, you logged into the DAAD site. That site over there, you have selected your university based on the modules that they were offering. And now what next?
See, when you apply it, I mean, when you do, there's a link to the university site, and you go there, and they will just mention your transcript, your certificate, and letter of intention, and stuff like that. So when you compile everything and send it to them, if you get selected, you'll get a mail. I mean, that's it, and you got the admit. And with that copy, you mean to say the visa process?
Yeah, like step-by-step process. I mean, like whether you have did it yourself through the university website or through the uni assist, and what documents were required, like the German skill and the education background, the tests and everything. Yeah.
See, the thing is, like, I was looking into electronics and computer science. So, like, for computer science, for me, it was easier to get because since I had an experience in them, and many of the topics which were to be covered in the university, I had a good idea about that. So the thing is, like, so writing the SOP was easier, and hence the call also. So once you decide which universities you want to, and because there are some universities like TU Dresden and all, for which I had to apply through UniAssist, and there are some universities which I could directly apply. And it depends upon each universities, because I mean, one thing which is common to every university is your like bachelor certificate and transcript of records and statement of purpose. Yeah, and that's it.
German skill, or
the thing is, like, German skill is quite relative. It depends upon, there are some courses in Germany for which they have electives in German. So you have an option whether you can choose that elective in German or not to, or English one. So since they have electives in German, and maybe some subjects they will be in German, in automobile industry, I think they have. So in those cases, they might require you to have at least a grasp of A2 or B1. It is specified in their respective sites.
So what you suggest, opting for German course or the English one, even if the person, like, if in case person can see language.
The thing is, like, you cannot opt for a German course. That is one thing, because you need to have German skill. The reason why they ask A1 is because it's.
So if a person has a certain skill like B2, C2 or so, what you will suggest, to opting for the German course or the English course?
I mean, even if he's a B2, if he gets a English course, I mean, I will recommend him to go for that, because I mean, why should he go for a German course?
Because it will become more difficult, right?
It will become difficult.
Because the thing is, some people, like, the thing is that it's more about getting the admission, because if you opt for German program, there is less competition compared to the other international counterpart who is applying for the English language program in that way.
If you have a B2 or B1 or B2 is not that high of a German skill. I mean, you need to have C1 or C2 something to do a studies like medicine or entire studies, I guess. B2 might be enough for a good communication and like to manage to some extent, but not sufficient. It is necessary, but not sufficient, I would say.
So while we are talking about German language, so tell us your story on how you learned German language.
I did my A1 in India itself, and upon coming here, we in every university, mostly every university will have, or you will have this VHS or any other institute which offers you German course, and I did a crash course on 2.1. So I mean, that's all I did. But there are people who try to do in between some course, language studies. Thing is, like, this language would help you to survive in Germany, because at some point of time, to talking to people, indigenous people, old folk, and market, they prefer. I mean, they speak only German. So
how much should be the proficiency level?
If you have an A1 or A2, that would be enough. I mean, you can survive. You will start learning. Bit by bit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Even I always suggest you guys that to learn certain German skills meanwhile you come before you come to Germany, so that you have an advantage of understanding it, and yeah, later you can build on to your fluency while you start talking and communicating here, and this is how you integrate into Germany. And so yeah, and now moving on to the next question. So basically, we have already discussed on the step-by-step process of how to apply for the master. So basically, you go on to the DAAD's website. Over there, based on the modules and your location preference, you select the university and you go to the university website to see the eligibility criteria, what documents they need. Basically, they need German skills, your bachelor's degree, and the SOP. So provide all these. So while you're providing, do you need any certificate, like attested documents, or you can just simply submit the soft copy of it?
Normally, most of the universities, they ask for attested, but it's, if you have a notarized, then it's better, because you're only giving them what do you call, a copy of your certificates, not the originals. So we never know how, on what basis they will reject or accept. So
yeah. So to be more competent, to be best, present your best version to them and do everything that's possible and at its best. So basically, that was all on how you apply. And then after you get the admission, let's see that after you get the admission from the university, what is the next step? Because I have been asked by many people that they are not sure that from where to begin and how to apply. So basically, we discussed on that thing, like how you can select universities and how you can apply. And now we will talk about what process you need to do prior to coming to Germany. So tell us, Phillips, that after you get admission from university, what next?
After you get admission, like the visa process?
Yeah, opening blog.
Yeah, as soon as you get an admit letter, the first thing is like you try to, like in my case, what I did is like I tried to open a blocked account. I booked an appointment with visa office, and I downloaded the online form available for block account for Deutsche Bank. So I filled it up, and on appointment day, I went there, and then I created a bank account, and then in that I transferred money, and then after transferring money, I tried to put fix another termin for a visa interview. So this might take a bit time. It's not as immediate as before, since it's not a simple meeting. It's a visa interview, so they might give you as per the traffic. The long queue. It might take a month or something, and after that, then after when you have this visa interview with all the documents, then again you have to wait 1 month around at least to get that actual visa stamping.
Okay, so basically, Rajdeep, you are saying that there is a problem in the live session. So definitely don't worry, because I'm already recording it on my another equipment. So I will be uploading that video so that you can see the clear version of it. So don't worry about it and keep shooting your questions. So basically, we just talked about that after you get the admission from the university, the next step is to apply for the visa. And for the visa, you need to open a block account. So to open a block account, there you can download a PDF from the website. There's a website for that?
You can. This one is for Deutsche Bank, and Deutsche Bank online, there's an option like for block account for students.
Okay, so for the Deutsche Bank, they have an option for the block account for the student. Over there, you go and download the PDF file and fill the form, then submit it to the visa office. And from there, they will share you a IBAN number, IBAN number, on which you have to deposit 8,000 euros. And after that, you get the appointment for the visa. So that's the entire process of the opening a block account, and then they will schedule your visa appointment. And it might take 1 month based on the traffic, the congestions.
When I said about the second appointment with the German visa office for this visa interview, they would state certain documents, and one of those main document is this admit letter and this block account statement saying that the amount has been transferred on this block account. So these are the 2 steps.
Cool.
And then the third thing is like, obviously you need to have an insurance, which in their side they said a list of insurance agency like Bajaj and Bajaj Allianz or something like that. So you have to take an insurance from them also for 3 months, 90 period. The requirements, the documents is clearly mentioned in the in your particular visa office, like Bangalore or Chennai.
So basically, these were the 3 things. And Rajdeep is saying, I think it's 8,640 euros. I think it has changed because like the students that are here, they have only deposited 8,640 euros.
Okay.
Because I think till now the students that are living here, they have deposited only 8,000 euros.
Because in my time it was 8,040 euros, so it has increased or decreased. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, so overall the round figure is 8,000 euros. And the next thing is that he already mentioned that you have to, for the visa, you need admission letter. Second thing, insurance from any Bajaj Allianz for the 3 months insurance period. Then the third thing you need is to open a block account. So yeah, so these are the 3 things that you need for the visa, and then you get the appointment.
Not the only 3; these are the main 3 things. Because of course you need a pass, like a photograph or something like that.
Yeah, like those are minor things.
And and university or BTech stuffs you need. All the certificates original should be also shown. They will, because what all transcripts you sent to them, these visa guys, they will check, cross verify your documents.
Okay, cool. So that was all that you need to basically do before coming to Germany, and definitely you need to book your flight and stuff like that. So now you landed to Germany with a little bit of German skill. So now moving on to the next.
And one more thing is like you have to try applying for accommodation, because accommodation one thing which is very challenging.
Okay. So what you suggest?
I mean, in every if you use Facebook, then almost every city will have like students in Frankfurt or like any such groups like Indians in Frankfurt or something like that. So there are communities in every city. So you can post your queries, and even them there are people who want to sublet their rooms for like 6 months or something. So you can just take in that for 6 months. Because even me, when I took a break of 6 months or something, I moved to Mannheim for 6 months for doing thesis at a different company. So people move to different location to do thesis or internship. So they want to sublet their room to a guy or a fellow junior student.
Yeah, and you even get sometimes very cheap rooms on rent.
Yeah, I mean the student apartments are rather cheap, and you can. And even your university will have a Facebook page or something like that.
Yes,
so the admins, they are really helpful there. So they know many of their peers who will be wanting to sublet their rooms. So you can contact them also.
Now 2 questions here.
Early the better.
So how long the visa department takes after your interview to release the visa?
I mean, there is no such date like 1 month or 2. For me, it took like in like 1 month and little more than that.
So 4 weeks basically.
More than that, and 5 weeks at least.
And second thing, like what you advise to the people, like for the accommodation, how many, like how
maybe the basic thumb rule procedure what you guys can follow is first the person who gave you the admit letter, the head, the department of admission, tell them that you don't have accommodation yet, you have applied to the student dorm and still I'm on waiting list or stuff like that. So what she'll do is like she should automatically send you a list of Wohnheims, a list of apartments wherein you can apply. Some of them will be a costly ones, but if you don't get any accommodation, get that for like first 2 months. Once you reach here, probably you can find with friends or something, you can relocate.
And you even have youth hostel or a hostel provided by the university. So basically in some of the university, they even provide a hostel. So if in case you don't have any accommodation available by the time you are in the city, so you basically can live in there, but just for a short period of time, maybe 2 to 3 months or maybe 1 month sometimes. So basically you even have that facility. Apart from that, what I was trying to ask you is that what you recommend, like if in case like a month before going to Germany, or like when we should apply for the accommodation?
I mean, the thing is like you have to get an accommodation. That is the main thing.
I mean, how long it takes to get the accommodation, like the average?
Because if you're saying like referring to student dorm, for me, since it was a Frankfurt one, Frankfurt is particularly dense area. I mean, many people apply and it's difficult to get. And if it's in remote places, it's easier to get. I heard people getting in 1 month or something, but in our case, we had to wait for 1 year or something. But at the same time, my junior, these people, they got, like some of them got directly. I mean, within 3 months they got. It depends upon your luck. So
okay,
you cannot say. So, I mean, depending on the place.
Basically, I've already made the video on how you can find the accommodation. Apart from that, as I already mentioned in the video, that you can log in. You should join the Facebook group of your city where you are going, Indians in Germany, and there we even have a South Indian in Germany. So you can join that as well, and then you even have a group for your university as well. Over there you can post your requirement, or you can simply see what other people, like there are other people as well who's looking for the flatmates or want to sublet their rooms, so they post their requirements over there, and this is how you can get connected and find the accommodation that fits your budget. So
yeah, and for me, which was helpful was there are people who really respond was like they are the admins of our university. So these people, they are already living in already living in that Bornheim. So these people can respond quickly. I mean, because they are just your seniors, so we can expect something better from them.
So basically, those who are joining me right now, I have a computer science student who is studying in Germany for now. It's been around 3 years since he's living in Germany, so he knows a little bit more about studying, pursuing education in Germany. Therefore, today I have him here so that you know all answers in one place. So regarding accommodation, how you can apply, how to open the blocked account. So all these basic queries that you always have. So basically, I have him here to sort out all the queries, especially for the computer science, and definitely I will come to your questions later in this video. So yeah, right now I'm just talking about the basic steps that's needed so that you don't have any other doubt after this video. So now we already talked about accommodation, how to apply, and what is the best way to learn German. And so now moving on to the next thing. So is there any if in case a student is here, so what institute would you recommend? Like, is there any institute that you would recommend, or they can join any institute to learn German?
I mean, the thing is, like in Frankfurt, there is Tandem in Rodelheim. There's a place called Rodelheim. So there is a Tandem institute there. I heard it's quite good, but the thing is, like, it's quite expensive. But there are some inexpensive institutes like VFS, I think.
Okay.
So there are some institutes like that, but it doesn't matter. I mean, once you come here, you automatically know like where to go. And there are many. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you know some person who are already pursuing there, you can go ahead and do it. And mostly, I mean, yeah.
Okay, so basically that was all about the masters.
VFS is there almost everywhere. You can also join that. I mean, inexpensive. VFS.
Okay, VFS.
I have to check that again.
Otherwise, I think that you can simply even do Duolingo for A1 level, or can do some online courses. It depends on how you learn.
In Deutsche Welle site, there is actually a course they actually offer for A1 and A2. So it's like free of course. You can do that and get A1.
So yeah, so you said Deutsche Welle.
Deutsche Welle is like, it's like CNN or IBN for this Deutschland. It is Germany.
Cool. Okay, so maybe you can go there and can learn German if it's easy for you to learn German through online. So now moving on to the next question is that how a bachelor student can apply for education in computer science in Germany. You can talk about the usual generic process as well as focus to the computer science student.
Hi, since I did not apply for bachelors, so I would be saying from a third person's point of view. From what I heard, some of my friends who are trying for the bachelor's course, like what they did is like they have completed their 12th degree. So from what I understood, you need to have a +2. You need to have like physics, chemistry, that +2 percentage. You need to show them that you have passed the +2 of that. And secondly, the thing is like here in Germany, bachelors, unlike masters, bachelors is not a direct admission. There's an intermediate institute coming called Studienkolleg, because the thing is like in Germany it's 13, and in India we have like up to class 12. So in India we have a 13, so it's like Arbiter thing. So it's a between the college and the school system. So in order to compensate that sort of gap, what we do is like we do a Abitur here at Studienkolleg. So the thing is like in order to get a visa, you need to show that an admit letter. One of the primary criteria for a student college is like you need to have a B2. So one thing is like you directly do an online test by the student college, and get it, like you have to pass the exam and then show to the visa office, and then they will give you like only for 3 months. The better option which normally people do is that they they apply for a language course and pay for the language course, that is for like 4 months, and then that private language course, I mean, and they show that admit letter and then 1 year of the block account, and with that you will definitely get what you call visa for bachelors. So that is one short way. So people, what they do is like, some people what they do is like they study up to B2 in India, because learning languages in India is cheaper. So if you have,
you suggest to learn?
I mean, the best way a person can prepare is like study till B2 in Germany and apply for C1 or B2, or even apply for C1 in a private Sprach school, private language school in Germany. Once, and when you pay the fees for just, it's like 4 months or something. When you pay the fees, you get that admission letter from that language school, and you open a block account for 1 year. With these two things, if you show to the visa person, they will definitely give you a visa.
So you mean to say that you need to learn language first in India? We can try, but would you like to suggest any institute? Because people are asking that, is there any institute in India which you can suggest?
In India, I mean, what do you call?
Like I know Goethe, and
Goethe is the one. I mean, you even if you study outside, you can study from outside. The thing is like because Deutsche, what do you call? What did you say?
Goethe.
Goethe, yeah. When you can write the exam for Goethe and you get a certificate for Goethe, you can show to them. Even if you study from outside, it's okay. I mean, because
outside means,
because I mean there are numerous.
Mean like third party. We even have something called Pantheon. Like I cannot.
It depends upon each person, because in Chennai there's a brilliant.
Pantheon.
Yeah.
In Delhi.
In Delhi maybe. So that's why it depends upon each local. I mean, each local area you live in. See the best thing you find comfortable or nearby or cheaper. So the thing is that if you want your language skill to be certified, you need to write the exam of
like
Goethe.
Like because, you need a certification.
Yeah, because in many of the German university courses, when they say that you need an A1, they will not only say just A1, they will say certified by Goethe or / like 2-3 option. Yeah, exactly.
So basically, what he is trying to say is that you can even learn German in India and can get the
certificate.
Get the certificate and can get into the program Studienkolleg here, right?
No, I mean, okay. The thing is that see, one option would be to learn up to B2 and write the B2 exam and then get into Studienkolleg. That would be difficult, because getting visa that way may not be. It will be difficult, but the thing is like the easier option is what people do is like they study up to B2, apply for C1. Even if you don't pass C1 here in Germany, since you have B2 level of knowledge and you prepare a lot C1 German here, so you can easily pass the B2 level exam which Studienkolleg conducts internally to integrate into their course. So it's easier that you will end up in Studienkolleg. And what I heard is like if you have 85 or 90 above, then the chance in your 12th exam, then it is easier to get into medicine seat. And if it's like 60 above, then you can get into engineering, because engineering, like in India here, we have a lot of seats.
I see. So basically that is the process because he have not applied as a bachelor student. So out of his friend's experience, he is doing this. And Rajdeep is saying that we can do 13th in India also, Phillips. So yeah, basically because he has not applied. So basically the other way is that you can also do 1 year of bachelor and can apply for the bachelors here in Germany. So you can do 1 year of bachelors in India, then can apply here in Germany. So that's what I think Rajdeep wants to try to tell. So yeah, basically that is the process of how you can apply for the bachelors. And for the computer science, you need IIT JEE Scores.
That I'm not sure. I never heard of it. Probably you can attach it. I mean, it might be good. I mean, these people, when they see your qualification, if you have less percentage but you have a good gauge score, probably they might consider you. But officially, no institute have officially stated. I mean, when I was applying for the course, no institute had officially certified that they need a JEE score. But they started asking for GMATs, GRE score.
So yeah, it depends on the university. I think it depends on the university and what they have.
Yeah.
basically now we can answer to the questions. So P. Ray is saying that have a meetup with Men's Pro. So I'm not sure if in case they are interested because they are having more subscribers than me. Definitely, I can. I'm more than happy to do that. So now let's move on to the questions of whatever you have asked me till now. So the first question is by Rajiv. He said that he wants to pursue computer science, bachelor's through Studienkolleg. So he's saying that he has an A1 German skill. He studied math, physics, and chemistry. So can he apply it, or how much are the chances of him getting into the bachelor's program? Like, do you think that it's enough?
Is like the normal thing which I've heard of through Studienkollegs. So Studienkollegs, the requirement is like you need to have at least B2 level of knowledge, because internally they will conduct an exam which requires a proficiency of B2 level. So that's why people either do till B1 in India and do a B2 course in a language school in Germany, and then they write this exam conducted by this student college. So you have to pass that. So if you only if you have a German level B2 proficiency, then only you will pass. So one of my friends, what they did is like he did till B2, as I mentioned before. I'm just repeating. He did till B2, and then he did C1 in Germany. So that for him, B2 exam conducted by Studienkolleg was very easy. So he easily passed.
Oh, so that was the answer to the first question. Hope, Rajiv, you got your
and since
answer.
his percentage is over 60%, so I don't think so you will have problems in getting engineering stream.
I see. Okay, so percentage above 60%. So now next question, Pawan has asked, I don't think he's live right now. So he asked that whether you can convert tourist visa into work visa.
I haven't heard of that. I mean, there are chances. I mean, I've heard some of my friends saying that a particular person came in Germany on a like tourist visa and he converted. It is possible. I mean, it is possible. We cannot rule out that option. But the thing is, like, you have to take your own risk. There are people who had to go back by the end of this student visa because they couldn't find one. There are like 1 or 2 rare cases.
I'm talking about tourist visa only. Because the thing is, I took for the work visa.
No, I'm not sure. I wouldn't like to comment because he might be applying for a different visa, because there are people who spend like 1 or 3 months here trying to search job directly from India. They don't end up in finding. But I don't know if it's a tourist. I think so. It's tourist visa, but I'm not pretty sure.
No, the thing is that because for the work seeking visa, you need to show the 6 months of accommodation proof, and so it's more easier as a student to find a job here, or you just simply apply from India, because I don't know how you can show the 6 months accommodation proof.
The thing is, like, you can also apply from India. There are people who directly get a job directly from India when applying. One of my friend who is in Mannheim, he got similarly. He was he was working in ABAP SAP.
So basically, he applied from India and then he got jobs. So yeah, basically, this is what I always say, that you can simply apply from India and can even get job from there. You don't really need to come.
I mean, that is just the thing is, like, the company has to pay you a lot because they have to bring you from India to here for an interview, and then they have to book an accommodation. They have spent a lot. So thing is, like, if you're really expert in your field, if you're really good and you know that, then there's a good chance. For other than that, companies, I mean, if it's a rookie or entry level jobs, they would definitely not take you. I mean, the chances are less. If you're an expert, then probably they would like to invest a lot of money to get here, to get you come over here and then interview you and then give you a job.
So I think that for the freshers, they might want to come and study here and get a job. And for the people who already have a good experience can also apply from India. They don't really have to come to Germany, because simply the companies can even take Skype interview, and that's what they even do here. They don't actually call everyone from all part of Germany to come and get the interview.
For a permanent job, they will do a Skype interview.
Yes.
That I agree. But the thing is, like, they will definitely do a personal interview.
Yeah.
That's why they have to spend a lot on you to bring you from India to here.
And then they make decision that whether
of course, not just the Skype interview. They will. I mean, they may be, but I never come across.
Yeah, because they might be 80% sure there till then.
80%. I mean, the person whom I mentioned, he had his personal interview at one of their offices in India.
Yeah.
and then he was called for
I
another
see.
interview.
Okay, I see.
It's like 2 or 3 levels of interview was there.
So, can you tell me about that friend, like what he was doing and what was his profile, and then what company he is now working with?
I mean, he did his bachelor's in India and did his MBA in Maldives, and then he worked in SAP as an intern, and then he came back to India, and then he applied to SAP ABAP developer position.
I see, but he was still at the very like entry level, like not with a good experience, because
he had an experience. I mean, he worked in SAP ABAP technology in Maldives.
But you said it's just internship, right?
Yeah, he did internship. Yeah, but I don't know if he had prior experience. I don't have much information.
Okay, fine. So so the thing is that you can also get job even if you are in India. So you can give it a try. So now let's move on to the next question. So Anjan actually asked me that what are the DAD scholarship that are available, or whether it's easy or difficult. And like for me, because I think Philips have never applied for the scholarship, and already if you're coming to Germany, your tuition fees, which actually has a major part in your expenses. So I think that's already been covered by being free if you get admission into some university where the education is free. So you don't really need a scholarship, but still if you want, then you can go to the university website. Over there they even have the scholarship for the international people. And I think Anjan, I've already sent you a message with the list of the scholarship, that different types of scholarship that is available for the international students. So you might want to check that. And yeah, need not to say that the scholarship application deadline is much more earlier than the regular deadlines of the admission. So you really need to be proactive and need to submit and do in the entire process way before you're getting into that admission application process. So now let's move on to the next question. So I didn't remember the name. Like someone asked me that what about the accommodation? She's about to study in Lebanese University, Hanover. We had already discussed with you that this most simple way to get the cheap accommodation in Germany is that you go to the simple Facebook group of the city you are going, the university you are about to join, and over there you can post your requirement, or can simply see the requirements already posted by the other people who are looking for flatmates. So in this way you can end up interacting with them and getting good advice. You can also post your requirement in Indian in Germany. Over there people from all sort of city here in Germany are there, and they are very helpful, and especially the group admins, and they will make sure that you get the answer to your queries, your requirement. So now next question: what are the scope of the computer science in Germany? Whether you would recommend it for bachelors, and what are the scope of computer science for master's student?
I mean,
whether they should do masters or bachelors, like in total.
I mean, if you have a graduate degree in, I mean, it depends upon the job which you want to apply. I mean, there are some jobs in which they require you to have a master's degree, and in some courses it's like normal, like Java developer or something like that. Simple developer, they won't require you to have a master's degree. For data analyst or data scientist sort of job, they particularly needed a master's degree. So it depends. I mean, on and as a normal software developer, I don't think so it matters. What it matters is like your experience and your knowledge in that particular field in which they want you to be recruited. So
okay, so basically it all depends on what you want in long run, what you want to become in future.
But apart from, if you don't look at bachelor's and master's sort of classification, but if you look as a scope of IT in Germany, I would say that embedded systems like electronics and communication area, and IT is one of those most proficient. Like you have a lot of job openings here, and then comes mechanical engineering, and then comes this renewable energy and stuff.
So now basically moving on to the today's question. So we have one more question that I have for you is that what Germany, what are some of the portals would you recommend to know about the job openings? And yeah, like definitely the website is first thing, where the companies, like every company has the website and the separate section for the career. So definitely you can have a look there. Apart from that, to my knowledge, I think Indeed, Stepstone, and yeah, like for me these are the ones, and definitely LinkedIn as well. But yeah, I think that for LinkedIn you get to know about the job opening, but I recommend you to specifically go onto the website and separately mail them rather than just simply applying onto the easy applies button. So what else would you like to add on to this list?
I mean, that's all. I think I used only these links.
Okay. So now the question is, Anita is asking that undergraduate technical program at German English Teaching University, can you help me? Uh, like I think that, like she's asking that, is there any German English Teaching University for the undergrad technical program? I mean, like what you say, like for the bachelor's, the entire course is in German or it's in English as well? Or you don't have any idea?
I think from all the friends which I came across, I never heard bachelors in English. That is probably one of the reasons why they insist you to study at Studienkolleg
I
and
see.
have
So basically, that's the thing, and we already discussed about the house.
I'm not aware of. I mean, from all the friends which I have, everyone who did their bachelors, they do it in German.
So yeah, basically that's the what.
But there might be changes because
yeah,
since it's been 3 years and it's getting more and more international.
So you actually need to shortlist the university and see the eligibility and requirement if in case they need a German proficiency. So probably they have mixed courses.
Because the scope of English here is very less.
Yes.
The reason they are now accepting more English speaking people is because the business is becoming more international and people, they are interacting with a lot of clients, hence they started acknowledging English a bit. But still, the thing is, the thumb rule is that even when I was doing my internship in and thesis in 2 different companies, even if they were international companies, still the group meetings or the team meetings were held in the German.
And also in office, internally they speak German, so you won't be able to understand them, in the informal settings. So there's no point, like, so that's.
And some exceptions would be some job, some what do you call, very rare, like I think Adidas, I think probably even then they.
And SAP.
I mean SAP, I don't think so. I mean,
yes, it's English entire.
Then
but the thing is that for bachelors they basically need German skills because it's a stretch, like it's more longer than the masters, and they might not have that much of facility to provide you with English speaking professors, like what I have felt so far in my university, because they only had very limited programs in English language. Rather than that, they have other programs in other courses in German. So now, moving on to the next question is that Akash, hi, could you make a video with mechanical or automobile engineering alumni? Definitely, I will search, and in case I will be able to get them on this hot seat. So Venkat, what is the minimum mark to get in?
But in mechanical, if you have a CATIA experience, then you have a lot of scope here. CATIA designing, if you like, from what I know, is like, they do a lot of CAD, right? CAD is one of the section in CAD. So if you have a CATIA experience, you will have a lot of scope here.
I think overall, even mechanical engineering has a good scope here. Like,
yeah, even if you say mechanical engineering, it's designing, and like if he did something in CATIA, I think that's something called surface stuff. And because I've heard my friends say that, I mean, mechanical, the challenge is that you need more German skills. So be prepared for that. Even if you have all the skill set practice, like I have a friend of mine who had like around 8 years of experience in CAD experience in designing, and he was working in Singapore. And he came now. His wife is in SAP. His wife is working, but this guy couldn't find a job. Now he's doing his language courses, even though he had experience in this CAT.
Okay. So now, because we have very less time left, so let's move on to the next question. What is the minimum mark to get in 12th? I think it's above 65% to be on safer side.
I mean, for bachelors in Germany.
Yes, yes.
I mean, yeah, 65, 60% above for engineering course and above 85 or 90 for this one medicine seat.
It's above 85?
85.
Wow. I think
For
medicine is very difficult. And for those who are asking me to make a video on doctors or medicine, I know someone, but the thing is that he forgot English because, you know, if to study medicine, you need German skills. And while he was studying that, and now he's not that fluent in English. So might be I might ask him to talk in Hindi, so whatever. Now moving on to the next question. Ranjit, do kindly brief us the myth of Hochschule are not as good as universities. He's saying that Hochschules are not good as universities. Is it a myth?
Yeah, even I had this thing when I was applying, but the thing is, like, when you have some friends here who are doing the studies, then the thing is, like, what is your dream? I mean, you want to work here in Germany, or you want to pursue a PhD in a very reputed college to talk to you. It depends upon you. If you want to land up in a job, I mean, a TU, the problem with the TU is that you will have to study a lot. I mean, really a lot. And at the same time, it's more of theoretical knowledge and less of practical projects or something like that. The problem is that when you want to get into a job, it would be really tough. So you have to take a break and do some internship or something,
like
so that to compensate that lack of practical experience. So that is one thing.
Yeah, even he did that. Like, he took a break and did a good internship. And then, yeah, like, this is how he now made his resume stronger way before he even passed out of the university. So yeah, and I think as a student as a working student, you even get more opportunities because there are more headcounts for the student work rather than a permanent role. So yeah, that's one of the tip that we would like to advise you in case you would. And the advantage is, like, if you do an internship in outside, then probably you will also get a thesis in a company, in a different company. Yeah, if your university requires.
So altogether, you will have like experience in two companies. I mean. And if the companies are really good and the work is really good, then obviously if you don't have experience in India, then it would compensate to some good extent. So
moving on to the next comment, said, hi, Anita, I checked in study.in website but couldn't get result. What did I even suggest? Did I say anything? I don't know.
Maybe you said Indeed for job search. I think Indeed.com is it.
But it's a study.india. I think she's seeing. But Indeed.com is for job. So yeah, let's move on to the next comment. Priyash Garg. Hi, could you help us with research internship? Please be more specific, Priyash, whether you are already studying in Germany or whether you want to apply for the research internship in Germany from India. So then only we can answer you. I'm not unable to understand the question. Like, maybe she wants to know that if she's in India, will she be able to get the internship opportunity in Germany? Is there any possibility?
See, for getting an, like, if a company gives you an intern option, then probably they will ask you for a student certificate. And if it's not a German university, then I think it would be a problem, because the reason the companies take in intern student is because they can hire them at a low cost with less responsibility. So, and they will have to pay less taxes, almost zero taxes. So that's why when they take intern, and if it's not, it's the government, they're dealing with the German government. So if he's a student of not of government, I mean German university of India or some other country, I mean, why should be they exempted with less tax or something like that?
I see.
So it's like a job thing.
So basically, it becomes more competitive.
The thing is, like, even to recruit you as an intern, you will have to fly over to Germany, and they have to pay you a lot for interview and stuff like that. So for an intern, for such a low profile, I don't think so they would make such a huge investment.
I think that you can try, definitely. There's nothing impossible, but it's very difficult. So now moving on to the next, Rajdeep, hello. And what to recommend studying bachelors in India, NIT, or bachelors in Germany? Like personally, I think
if you want to do, yeah.
Personally, I think that you should come here for masters for the high profile jobs. And if you want to work as soon as possible, then definitely you can come to Germany and study and get a job here. Because as you already said that there are some profile like data scientists, and like you need the master's level qualification. And that's my thinking. And studying masters here, even you don't really need a good German skills, so you can survive with A2 level. That's my thinking. Yeah, up to you.
Yeah, you can survive with A2, but more skill, like if you have B2, the better. Yeah, your chances will increase much.
So what you suggest for this question?
Which one?
Like whether to do bachelors in India in NITs or bachelors in Germany?
If you can do in NITs, then do it, because you will have more options to think about whether you want to come in Germany or get a good college in India itself. Because now you did just 12th, right? If you don't get in NIT,
yeah, basically I think apply everywhere.
Because the thing is like here in Germany, the thing is like if you want to live in Germany as quickly as possible, then apply for bachelors in Germany. If you think you have the required percentage, and because you have to, once you come here, you do the studies till B2, and then you come here again, you're getting into student college, which again it's like a preparatory course for the actual engineering course. So there again you have to do physics, chemistry, and study a bit. But the thing is like getting getting a medicine seat in Germany is easier when compared to getting a medicine seat in India. So that is one advantage. If you have a dream of being a doctor, and the competition is lesser, I guess here it is not as competitive.
But you just need to have a C2 level of German skill for that then. So that's where the difficulty lies, because for the doctors, the entire course will be in German, and then you have different jargons. So yeah, I think even for doctors, they even need IELTS. So like they need both English and German. So that's the another topic. Now let's move on to the next question. Akash, do Indian students find it difficult to cope up with their studies in TUs, or is it comparatively easy when compared with Indian examinations and evaluation?
It depends upon which university in India you study. Because it depends. Like
maybe
there are
topmost. Maybe topmost.
I haven't studied in IIT to comment about IIT standards and here.
Because
you don't have to worry about the. I mean, it's very.
Like my take on this is that if in case your program is in German, then definitely you will find it difficult. Otherwise,
no. I mean, what he asked is about studying TU, how difficult it is for that to get that. He asked, I think, this question. Studying TU is a bit
but the
hard.
course is in German, then it's become more difficult.
Bachelor's is different.
Anything.
No, masters is there are masters courses in TU, so I'm referring to those. I mean, it's really hard. You have to study even harder. I mean, it's really hard. I mean, you have a lot of things, and it's very tough.
I think
I have heard people, because I have not studied in TU, but I have friends of mine who say like they really have to study a really lot. And sometimes some of my friends who are really, they just want to do job and they end up in TU and they say like, oh my god, I'm studying like anything and there is nothing. I feel I'm forgetting the experience which I had in India.
So yeah, that's the thing, and especially the Germans make it more difficult, because as I already told, they are hardworking. They study from day one and they learn every line. Like for me, it happened. I've seen it. So.
But yeah, if you are not in TU, I mean, applied science, the studying will not be that hard as when you compare to TU, and probably you get more like hand-on experience with projects and stuffs. So at the same time, there are many people who really want to pursue PhD, or they want to really acquire that literally. What do you call
proficiency, master.
Yeah,
master. Like, so the thing is
there is no harm. I mean, even if you do in TU, if you are a smart enough person, if you have confidence, then apply for TU. If you get it, and then you can go ahead with it.
I think as an Indian, we already become like Chatur. We even similar to the Germans, like we learn everything by heart. Like I studied in a good university, and I thought that over there also I was doing the same. And here, like for me, it didn't make any big difference to me. For me, it was like something very Indian. Like I felt like that, but it's just that you have more to study. So sometimes you cannot think of like a last minute thing. Like you cannot postpone everything. You have to start working on your assignments, your studies from day one. And that's because how Germans deal with all the thing, like the entire education system.
It depends upon. So in Heidelberg University, which is private, the thing is like they have almost like every 2 weeks or every week they will have exams, and it's a sum total of all. And in government college, it's like semester by just like in India at the end of semester.
Then your burden gets distributed.
And you get more marks, I mean, in that case. Because it's a private, I mean, that's one way of them ensuring that.
So now I hope you have got your answer. And yes, obviously, if you're doing the bachelor's and the courses are mostly in German, definitely you will find it difficult to answer something in other language. So next question, Ratuja. Hi, Ratuja. Can you tell about EU University? The thing is that no one of us has studied in EU University. We only know about TU University, Munich. So the thing is that I think if you are in Munich, as I already said, definitely you have a better opportunity to work and build your resume. And definitely because Munich, like all the university in Germany is good. So definitely you can go for it. So Rajdeep, scope of artificial intelligence in Germany for bachelors.
I mean, masters. I mean, what do you mean by scope? You mean to say like there are job vacancies? Yeah, there are a lot. IoT, artificial intelligence, because machine learning.
He might be thinking of pursuing it in that.
Yeah, I mean there is. I mean in Robot Bosch, in Daimler.
So is it growing or like how is it?
It's growing.
So just go for it, Rajdeep. Then. So yeah, because we have. I think we just run out of the time. So just quickly, let me see the important questions. Scope of MBA in banking and finance. I think that you have a big scope of banking and finance, especially in Frankfurt.
I worked with KPMG, one of the big finance firms.
Especially in Frankfurt. So definitely go for it, because I think finance is not a rocket science. Like it's a rocket science, and they need people for it. So just go for it. So Prakhan Khan, which will compensate BTech percentage? Example, like, okay, what these things will compensate my BTech percentage? Like IELTS German level, that makes improve to get admit from German university because I have 65% in BTech. Do you think that 65% in BTech is bad? Like he's want to know that in case he can score in other things. So will be able to compensate?
That if he has a good professional experience, like if he's applying for computer science course and if he had a lot of certificates or some good experience, probably he can try with that. The thing is, like when you apply for any universities, they would mention that you need a grade of 2.5 or 2.6. So in any university, if they don't mention you the exact grade, probably you can take a hint that probably if you add these certificates, probably they will consider you for the post.
So yeah, I think that it's not a bad percentage.
Exactly. I mean, bad or not, it depends upon the university. If they say that you need certain below certain, you need to have above certain percentage, then that would be a problem. If not, because the percentage is quite relative. Because in Pune University, it's very tough to get like 70%. It's like people end up in 60%. And there are some universities which are independent universities, and their people minimum percentage is like 80s or something like that. So I know it's relative, but if you have other certificates to compensate for that, then like just apply. Because getting an admission, it's not a like short way. I mean, you satisfy their precaution. I mean, their requisites, and then you apply it, and you get it or not. It's like a probability of getting is higher if you have higher qualification. That's it.
So there are 2-3 important questions that I can see, because we won't be able to answer all of them. So I'm just taking part question. It's, can I join a computer science course even if I took commerce in India?
Commerce India, like
he's from BCom side, so he can apply. Like it's the same, like till 10+2 if he's a commerce student, or till like if he did BCom. So will he be able to apply for computer science? Bachelors? Yeah, bachelors or masters. Yeah.
That I'm not very sure, because I didn't apply for bachelors. I'm not sure.
But I think you need a maths at least.
Of course, I think I think in commerce they have maths. I think, right? No.
It's up to them. Well, what they're electing.
Okay.
Different. There are some commerce with art and commerce with maths.
Like none of my friends have that education background. Since
yeah, he's saying, yeah, I have maths.
Yeah, if he has maths, then you can apply for it.
So go for it path. You can apply for the computer science. And I think, is there any other important question? Because he actually have to leave for Frankfurt. Definitely he can join us some other day. And I can just write down all these questions which can be addressed in my next video. So otherwise he will get late. He has to work somewhere. So I hope that we try to answer most of the questions, and I'm really glad that you guys have joined me and Philips have joined me today and gave me the opportunity to answer such difficult questions and give two viewpoints. So because he's a South Indian, I'm a North Indian, he has a different experience and I have different experience. It has actually added a great to my audience and to my enough for your effort and your time. I hope that God bless you, and even you guys, good luck for your endeavors. And yeah, so Rajdeep is saying that have a great day, Philips.
Yeah, thank you a lot. But if you get an admit for masters in computer science, I mean, you're like, you don't worry at all, because the thing which you find here is like you have to apply a lot. Like you apply like 10-50 applications, and in computer science there's a high probability that you might get a part-time job or intern job. So, and yeah, I mean, compared to other subjects, you really are more at an advantageous position.
So basically now I'm ending this live session. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. Till then, take care, and definitely do subscribe to my channel for many such videos. And thanks, and have a great day.
Thank you.
So bye.